broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege. Privilege.
All right, here we go. We are live. UFC St. Louis. Derrick Lewis, Rodrigo Nascimento. But first, both guys getting introduced right now. You got Alonzo Menafield and Carlos Holberg. Excuse me. And these are two big guys. Menafield, 2-1 underdog. And listen, throughout the night, it's been an absolute bust. Worst night of predictions on record. So we're already looking forward to the main event. I mean, that's the only thing that could save the night. But here we go. We got Carlos Holberg in this one. We'll see what happens. All right, both guys coming together. They're going to touch gloves. Menafield versus Holberg. They separate, stare each other down. And here we go. Alonzo Menafield versus Carlos Holberg. And they touch gloves, and here we go. Oh, Menafield comes in right away. Oh, Menafield goes down. He's taking some punches. Oh, he's in trouble. That's it. That's it. Let's go. Carlos Holberg finishes him in like 12 seconds. Holy cow. And Menafield just kind of let it fly. 14 seconds. And what I thought was going to happen is this was going to go on for a minute, and I was going to tell you how many decisions tonight. It's been a long marathon of a night, and before I could even get into all that, 14 seconds in, Carlos Holberg finishes Alonzo Menafield. And he's jumping on top of the octagon. He's getting hugs, and the crowd is going crazy because they've been just waiting for this all night. Like the big finish. And that's what happens. Carlos Holberg gets the win, man. Big win. And we're just getting started, I guess. We're just getting started. Carlos Holberg is going to move to 11-1. We're finally back in the win column. Menafield falls to 15-4. And it's a wrap here. Light heavyweight division. UFC St. Louis. Wow. Wow. We're not even getting warmed up yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even getting warmed up. And we're down to the co-main event and main event. And we desperately needed that one to go our way. And it did. It did. It's not going to change the fact we're having a terrible night. But at least we get this one to jump out the gate here on the watch party. Oh boy, looking at the replay real quick. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, Menafield just left himself out there. And like missed on a punch and went to his knee and took like 3 quick ones. And that's it. Like he did it to himself, really. Carlos Holberg feels the roar of the crowd. But listen, stay tuned. It's only going to get better, I think. Well, it should, because we got Derrick Lewis coming up. And Nascimento, 2 guys capable of KOs at any time. But this one's done in 14 seconds. Quickest start to a watch party in a long time. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. So as expected, this was a tough fight between J.J. Aldrich and Veronica Hardy as we await the decision. And we banked on J.J. Aldrich getting the win just because in her last 6 fights, she's 4-2. And Hardy's better than the 4 wins, but not as good as the 2 losses. So it was an important fight for her. Veronica Hardy fought well too. Significant strikes, very close, 32-36 Hardy. But 509 of control for Aldrich. So we'll see. It's going to be close. Oh, it's unanimous. Oh, 2-1 basically. 29-28 on all 3. Veronica Hardy gets the win. And that's big for her. You can see the smile. And what a victory for her. Like it or not, Veronica Hardy wins. She's going to move to 9-4. You could say in total strikes it was 69-38 So Hardy more active. She gets the win. Women's flyweight division kicks things off here. UFC St. Louis. And they'll go to a decision. Charles Johnson and Jay Cadley both coming out strong in this fight. It was a close first round. Charles Johnson took the upper hand in round 2 and seemed to close the door in round 3. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, he led 70 to 45 in significant strikes, 90 to 45 total. Head strikes 34 to 16. So to me, he got the victory. There's both of these fighters kind of walking around the octagon right now. Jay Cadley also had 212 of control. Both guys well-rounded in head, body, and leg strikes as well. I mean, it's pretty much, look at Hadley. It's 16, 16, and 13. Head, body, and legs. Johnson, 34, 18, and 18. So a lot of striking in this one. And the crowd loved it. They were on their feet at the end of the first, second, and third round. So, despite the decision, it was a really good fight. This is a big one for both guys. Here we go. Ooh-wee. It's going to be unanimous. Charles Johnson, looks like he's pumping his fist. Charles Johnson gets the win. And Jay Cadley looks dejected, but, he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. The bottom line is right now Charles Johnson's just a better fighter, and he's 15-6 now. You see him talking, and I'm sure that's what Charles Johnson's telling him. Just keep working. Jay Cadley falls to 10-3. This fight went down. Flyweight division. Some pretty big flyweights, though, here at UFC St. Louis. What a finish and what a fight. Unbelievable. Billy Goff, Trey Waters, both going down swinging to a decision. And it's basically, numbers are phenomenal. 133 to 95. Significant strikes in favor of Billy Goff. And virtually the total strikes are the same. Control time 4:06 for Billy Goff on 1 takedown. And the thing is Trey Waters stopped 11 takedowns. He gave up 1 takedown. That hurt him. A lot of clinch control up against the fence for Billy Goff. But at the same time, the numbers favor Billy Goff, so it's going to be an interesting decision. It's not often guys get credit for takedown defense, but these were big-time defensive strategies against the takedown, especially in the second and third round. So I won't be surprised if Trey Waters wins. 30-27, and then 29-28 on the other two. Trey Waters gets the win. And, man, at one point in this fight, it looked like both guys could go down at any time. Tremendous battle, back and forth, taking punches, delivering them. Unbelievable. Great fight here at UFC St. Louis in the welterweight division. Trey Waters is now 9-1. Well, 4 fights, 4 decisions. Here we go. Ricci and Pennington. Kind of a close fight, but I think Tisha got it. (29-28) Pennington is going to be split. Ooh, here we go. So 1 each right now. Here we go. Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci squeaks out a win over Tisha Pennington. Total strikes almost even, but she trailed 74 to 103 in significant strikes. But the 5:15 of control time on just 1 takedown. Pennington stopped 9 of them. She was 1 for 10. It's similar to the last fight, but this one goes the opposite direction. Tabitha Ricci, the Brazilian, gets the win to move to 10-2. Women's strawweight division. Another good fight. 4 fights, 4 decisions here at UFC St. Louis. And here we go. Terrence McKinney, Esteban Ribovic, round 1. And, man, we need McKinney to win this thing, but and this is going to be a story throughout the night, but Ribovic is really good. I'm a big McKinney fan. I might pay for that. We'll see. First 15 seconds gone. And already McKinney kind of opened his eyes when Ribovic hit him with a quick left-right combination to the body. And he kind of backed off. And Ribovic gets low and powers forward. Nice right by McKinney. And a left jab. Boom. Oh! Ribovic finishes McKinney with the right leg kick. Very similar to the old Usman when he fell to Leon Edwards. Very similar to that. Wow. And after 12 rounds of long fights, we get a quick finish by Esteban Ribovic, and man, that really hurts McKinney. McKinney landed a big right. Let's see. Boom, never saw it. And that's it. Wow, we get the other angle. Boom. And it's like the hands came down just in time. Like his hands were there. Yeah. And that's as good as a big right hand, basically. Yeah. So Terrence McKinney falls, man. The tough guy goes down. Esteban Ribovic is the man. Here at UFC St. Louis. Chase Hooper continues to dominate, but just can't get the finish. 2:20 left. Round 2. And he's had triangles locked in. All types of submission attempts here. And another triangle. Oh, this one's locked in. And that's it. He taps. Oh, and Borshev saying no, he didn't tap. Wow. And Vyacheslav went through all that and then got put into a rough position, and the ref just stopped it. I don't know if there was a tap. I didn't think I saw a tap. But nonetheless, listen, regardless of the finish, Chase Hooper, absolute domination. 108-2 in significant strikes. That's Hamza Chimaev style back in the day at the beginning. And what's going on here is this guy is getting older and he's getting stronger. An unbelievable finish here for Chase Hooper. Unbelievable. He's going to move to 14-3 here in the toughest division in the UFC. Lightweight division, UFC St. Louis. And some nice left punches there by Acosta here down the stretch, and that'll do it, man. He's gonna finish with a big win tonight in dominating form, both in significant strikes and takedown time, control time. Nearly 10 minutes of control time. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. You know, you really want to shut down a guy like Despain, a.k.a. Robelis, who's on the rise. You shut him down with a unanimous decision victory, which it hasn't been official yet, but that's what's going to happen. 52-26 in significant strikes, 3 takedowns on just 4 attempts, almost 10 minutes of control. So that's how you do it. Dominating fashion there for Waldo Cortez Acosta, heavyweight division, UFC St. Louis. We're looking at a marathon night here at UFC St. Louis. Another fight goes to a decision. This time it's Alex Caceres and Sean Woodson. Caceres, a guy that started out slow in his career, has been winning a lot lately. Sean Woodson 11-1. And Caceres led 93-84 in significant strikes. So I think he should get the win, but you never know. Here we go. Matters more round by round. Come on, Caceres. 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27. Dang. Sean Woodson. Dang it, man. I know Caceres didn't win 3 rounds, so you know it had to be Sean Woodson, but he gets the win. Rough night for us, man. But we're losing a lot of these fights by decision. Woodson goes to 12-1 with the win, featherweight division, UFC St. Louis. It's hard to believe what we're seeing, and that's it. Mateusz Rebecki is just getting dominated here since the first round. 35 seconds left in the fight. Oh, goodness gracious. Another left and a right taken by Rebecki. And Ferreira is just fighting the fight of his life. I mean, dealing with a guy in Rebecki that has 15 straight wins, and it looked like he's never fought. Like, he's just dominating this fight. And look at this. Hammer's under 20 now. The ref's really looking at this. And Rebecki's trying to get to the finish, but I don't think it really matters. Diego Ferreira gets the win. It's over. The ref stops it at the tap with about 10 seconds left. Ferreira, the Brazilian's going to move to 19-5. Mateusz Rebecki loses for only the second time to fall to 19-2. 151 to 67 in significant strikes. And we're learning a valuable lesson tonight as we go with all of our fighters that we like, and we're falling one by one throughout the night. It's just been rough. But Diego Ferreira gets the win, just pounds away on Rebecca to get it. Lightweight division, UFC St. Louis.
You're watching the TCMMA podcast.
Leon Edwards saying Khamzat Chimaev's a good fighter, but not what the UFC was building him to be. And how do you know that? You know, even when I'm saying Khamzat's going to beat everyone, how do I don't really know that. That's what I believe is going to happen. So that's an opinion of Edwards, just like I have my opinion that Khamzat's going to beat everybody, okay? But I don't know that to be a fact until it actually plays out. How could Leon Edwards be certain of what he's saying? He went down and fought Gilbert Burns in a weight class that's way too light for him. He didn't look great, but he still won. He went in there with Usman, who did move up. Usman didn't look great, but he didn't have to cut weight. So he was feeling good and strong and fought well. And Khamzat hurt his hand pretty darn bad in the first round after absolutely dominating Usman on the ground. Absolutely dominate him on the ground. So, and then all of a sudden the fight changes in the second and third round. So you're like, obviously something happened, right? You want to be led to believe that while you're watching it live that, oh, Khamzat doesn't look that good. Well, something clearly changed. How do you go from dominating the guy in round one on the ground, completely taking one of the best takedown defense specialists in the world out of the fight as a striker and take him down because you're dominating him? And then something changed to where you can't land takedowns in the second and third round now, and you're forced into a striking battle with a guy in Usman that you don't necessarily want to do that with, because it's going to be a lot easier to beat him on the ground if you can just manhandle him. And then he couldn't do that in the second and third round, not because he just couldn't do it skillfully, but because there was underlying factors. So this is what I repeat. How does Leon Edwards know what he's talking about? It's crazy. And Sean Strickland saying, hey, I could have fought Khamzat, but instead I picked Costa. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. That's just crazy.
Oh my God, bro.
What are you talking about? Paulo Costa? Who is Paulo Costa? When was the last time he fought? Is he even relevant right now until he gets a big win over somebody? Will he ever be relevant again? We don't know. You're meaning to tell me you'd rather fight Paulo Costa over Khamzat? The chance to end the hype train and do everything that you guys are talking like you're going to do? I mean, come on, man. Please. Please. Don't come at Khamzat like that until he loses. Please don't come at him until he loses. Please don't come at him until he loses. He hasn't lost yet. And I know that makes some of y'all's stomach turn. It makes your stomach turn. Because you want to say, yeah, Burns beat him and he looked terrible against Usman. Usman should have won that fight on the judges. Okay. But Khamzat won the fight. And that just makes some of y'all's stomach churn. Just turn over, man. It just makes you sick to your stomach. And the bottom line is Khamzat is going to get another fight against a Robert Whittaker. And this time, it doesn't matter how he wins. But it matters that he wins. Because I don't care what the circumstances. In the welterweight division at UFC St. Louis, you got Joaquin Buckley coming in at 18-6, taking on Nursultan Ruziboev. The guy comes in at 34-8. I like this matchup. It's an awkward one. Ruziboev 7 inches taller at 6'5". Buckley just 5'10". Both guys 30 years old. Both guys 76-inch reach. Buckley southpaw, left-handed. Ruziboev right-handed. Okay, interesting. Both guys right around 4 significant strikes per minute, so it's pretty even there in terms of pace and activity. Ruziboev can take the fight to the ground at any time, landing over a takedown per round. Buckley kind of close, one every other round, so he can go to the ground too. He's got a 69% takedown defense, won 3 in a row. Look out over Andre Fialho, Alex Morono, and Vicente Luque. 2 of the last 3 wins too by KO. Interesting. Ruziboev's got more to prove, but he did beat Cedric Dumas in his last fight by KO. And Bruno Ferreira, KO. Ooh, boy. Ooh, baby. I like this matchup. This is going to be a tough one. Who's the favorite? Buckley is the favorite. 1.5. Ooh wee. This is a tough one. Yeah, Ruziboev's coming down, cutting a little weight. So he'll still have some power there, but Buckley will feel strong in this weight class. Ruziboev might feel a little weak, so I got to lean towards Joaquin Buckley. Man, a guy's got 34 wins. I don't care that he's got 8 losses. Guy's got 34 wins. That's a tough out right there. But listen, I got to go with Buckley. I like Joaquin Buckley to get the win here. Likely by KO to move to 19-6, welterweight division. UFC St. Yeah, UFC St. Louis, we're live for the watch party. Buckley now getting introduced, or getting fitted before he gets into the octagon, excuse me. They haven't started the introductions yet. Still in the walkout phase. But this fight is going to be highly interesting. Buckley's on a 3-fight win streak. You know, the accolades of Nursultan Ruziboev. And throughout the night, we've kind of went with a lot of guys we like. And it's hurt us. No question about it. And we're doing the same thing here. So hopefully it doesn't go the same way as it did throughout the night. We need Buckley to get the job done. Make no mistake about it. Carlos Ulberg in the previous fight got the win in 14 seconds. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And actually, Buckley is the favorite. 18-6, Ruziboev.
Chevy Equinox has been ranked number 1 by J.D. Power for dependability.
I mean, it's crazy. So it's certainly going to be a big test for Joaquin Buckley as both guys now getting introduced. Bruce Buffer doing his thing. Co-main event, welterweight division. 2 bad dudes. Make no mistake about it. Bad dudes. And Ruziboev is 6'5". Oh my gosh. And you can see all the Uzbekistan fans in St. Louis. I mean, they're ready for this one. They are ready. And Ruziboev putting his hand in the air, like kind of saluting the fans, saying thank you. A lot of love there. Joaquin Buckley next up. He's getting introduced now to 18-6, number 11 welterweight fighter, 3 fights in a row that he's won. And he's bouncing around, and he's only going to be 5'10", so you're looking at a 7-inch height advantage for Ruziboev. I mean, it's incredible. So he's going to be swinging upward, right? Ruziboev's going to be punching downward. It's crazy. And I don't know how you expect to fight a guy that much taller than he. Nonetheless, here we go. Joaquin Buckley, Nursultan Ruziboev, a guy that's 7 inches taller than Buckley, who possesses a lot of power and is a slight favorite, but it's almost even. And we'll see if we get fireworks like we did in the previous fight. Ulberg winning in 14 seconds. Here we go. Ruziboev leads things off with a lead leg kick, 10 seconds in. And just when his card felt like a marathon, we get a 14-second fight in the previous fight. Now we got 1 fight left here. 20 seconds gone, and they're feeling each other out. And to make matters worse, not only do you have a 7-inch height advantage for Ruziboev, who's punching down, you got 2 guys with opposite stances, right? You got Buckley fighting left hand, Ruziboev right. And I hate to compare anyone to Mike Tyson, but Buckley kind of looks like that in an MMA setting where he's so much shorter, but he's got the power. And all he's trying to do is set up the big KO. Boom. Nice leg kick by Ruziboev. Buckley's got to watch out for that, that's for sure. And clearly, Buckley's going to have a hard time landing punches. I mean, he's just letting him go, and he's not even close. And he puts his hands down and backs off. So a little frustration from him already. But he'll get it going. At some point, you got to get in telephone booth and bang. Ooh, Buckley goes in and lands the takedown. And this is what I expected. USA fans going crazy. They're trying to drown out the Uzbekistan fans. And, they're not going to like that in St. Louis, right, where you got an American fighter. Sometimes in America, it's a little different. You hear the USA chants every once in a while. Well, a lot, depending on the setting. But when it all is even, and you got a guy from America, especially when you're in America and the foreign fans are coming in mass and they're cheering loud, the USA fans are going to start to lean towards a guy like Buckley, and that's what's happening. And the USA chants ringing out. First round halfway done. And this is kind of what I banked on when I made the prediction, is that if Buckley gets in any type of trouble, he's going to take the fight to the ground. And he lets Ruziboev up, and it lands a big punch. And now they're really trading. And Ruziboev comes in again with a flying knee and a takedown by Buckley. Wow. And the crowd is going crazy, man. Now Buckley on top. He's pounding away with the right. And he's just having a tough time dealing with the length and reach. He's going to let Ruziboev up. Interesting. Both times. So he doesn't like the ground. And that's where I thought he had the advantage. Ruziboev misses with a right. Crowd definitely picking up right after the last fight. 14-second KO. Fans are fired up. Co-main event. And you got USA chants. You got Buckley chants. And looking in the crowd a little bit, you see a lot of people on their feet. It's kind of one of those feels in this fight, like anything can happen at any given time. Really in all three of these, right? Because it's light heavyweight, welterweight, and then heavyweight. We had to wait a long time. A lot of decisions tonight to get to this point. Things are picking up now. Buckley misses with a big right, 45 seconds left. And next week I head back to the Apex in Vegas, but it's just something different when there's a crowd. It's just something different. Buckley puts his hand up to the crowd, gives him a thumbs up. 20 seconds left. He's saying to Ruziboev, he puts his hand down and says, come on, let's go. Doesn't like the fact that Nursultan's not swinging. And now Nursultan is. Lands two rights. Buckley comes in and backs off. Now Nursultan mocking him, saying, hey, where are you going? And that'll do for round one. Buckley gives him a blink. Trying to get in his head a little bit. It's not working. And here we go. Second fight into the watch party. We finally got a second round. All right. And it's just 8-5 in significant strikes. And I think that's what Buckley was complaining about, like saying, let's go, let's swing. But he's not doing it either. He did have 2 takedowns, 116 in control. That's going to be a tough round for the judges. And if it does go to a decision and they split the next 2 rounds, this is what we always say. Like, the fight comes down to the round that was slow pace, boring, and too close to call. So who knows? In terms of what they should be saying in their corner, Buckley's corner's got to be saying pick up the pace. I mean, no doubt about it. Pick up the pace. Same with Ruziboev. You came here to win, not to dance. So very simple in the rounds for both fighters, or in the corners. Here we go, round 2. It's underway. And I still expect something big to happen here. I don't think Buckley's going to go down without making this an absolute battle. Ooh, big right by Nurselton. Boy, and another takedown for Buckley, who seems to get him at will. And now once he's here, I don't know if he likes it because Nurselton is tall, right? So he can't get to the full mount. Ruziboev's got the guard in, full guard. And Buckley has like a long way to go to get up to his to the top region of Nurselton, so he doesn't like it. But right now he's maintaining it. Crowd chant, "Let's go Buckley." And he's got to be loving this. I mean, he's really got to be loving this. This is a fight he needs to win, I'm sure, in his mind. And Buckley getting shoved off. And he doesn't like those leg kicks, and I wouldn't either, because you got the height of Nurselton, who gets back to his feet. So 3 takedowns on 3 attempts, 2 minutes of control. Nurselton gets out all 3 times, or you could say Buckley let him up. And when these two get in close to each other, that's when anything can happen. It doesn't happen often. And I'm not sure why. I would think Buckley would want to be aggressive and go forward. And now he backs off again, trying to reset. Both guys opposite stance fighters, so that sometimes it doesn't lead to the best matchup because they can't figure out how to get in. And especially when you're Buckley and you're fighting lefty, and your opponent's 6'5", it's making it tough. Buckley opens up with a left and a right. Nurselton comes in, takes a right. He lands a right. Here we go. Let's go, Buckley. Get it going now. (16-13) Buckley in significant strike. So he's leading in this round and has a takedown halfway through. Come on, boys. Let's go. We need some more action. And I know you need these matchups, right? Because this is what people want to see. This is a good matchup from a matchmaking perspective. But the opposite stance sometimes leads to lackluster situations because, again, the guys are just so far away from each other. Their power shots are not as close and available as you like them to be. And a guy like Buckley, who's shorter, is having a real hard time getting in there. Ooh, Buckley takes a big right. 1 minute left, lands a right, looking for another takedown. And he's strong in the stand-up. Takes him down with a leg swipe, nice. And see, that's the part that's going to help him in this fight, because even if he doesn't do much on the ground, he's appearing to control the fight that way. 40 seconds left, round 2. USA chants ring out in St. Louis. And they'll continue into the next fight. You can believe that. Let's go, Buck. 10 seconds left. He's going to ride this out on top. And some big hammers coming down. Oh, and an arm bar here. Right at the bell. Ooh, that could have been rough. Nursleton trying to lock in the armbar at the bell, but Buckley's gonna get that round. And it might be 2-0, probably 1-1. Just call it 1-0 right now because who knows what happened in the first round. So now Buckley's corner is going to be saying, hey, we like the second round. We like the aggressiveness. Keep that up. You're in a position to where if you do that again, you land another 2 takedowns. In the third, you get 6 takedowns, 4 or 5 minutes of control. You're leading in significant strikes. They got to give you the fight. Round 1, we don't know. Round 2, we know is Buckley. So continue in that direction. Ruziboev showing why he's a tough fighter. I mean, the guy's 6'5" in the welterweight division. Imagine if you just put on 15 pounds. But then you're going up to middleweight. That's big boy territory too. Here we go. Both fighters touch gloves. Round 3's underway. Expect fireworks. Takedowns for Buckley are huge because it's not dominating on the feet either way. You know, both fighters land one here and there, but not too often. Both having a hard time getting inside. So the takedowns take Buckley over the top right now. Ooh. Oh! Let's go, Buck! Finish it! Big left sends down Ruziboev. And a leg kick by Ruziboev. Buckley better be careful now. Nearly had him finish. 1 minute gone. Round 3. And I tell you what, fireworks are coming in this round. Crowd's loving this. Oh. Buckley, Chan's coming out. Big time. And Nursleton looking in a little bit rougher shape right now. Slowing down, dropping the hands. He's getting tired. Buckley can really do well for himself to really press here. Nursleton goes down. Looked like he slipped, but still, the optics don't look good. Buckley with some hammers here. Oh, he's got the full mount finally, and this is going to be a rough situation for Ruziboev as he's looking in all types of trouble here. Buckley pounding away, and he's postured up. Man. And he's just driving that forearm. Nursleton trying to hold on, and it's not going well. He's going to end up giving up the back, and the ref's really looking at this. Nursleton is not fighting back. He's not fighting back. He does push away with the right, kind of extends it a little bit here, but the ref is really looking at this. Buckley just, oh yeah, oh, he's going to stop it. You got to stop this. You got to stop this. Come on, Keith. Oh, right when he's about to, Buckley gets his hands tied up. Now he's got the right arm free. 2:20 left. I mean, a lot of time to work here. And it's like one flurry away from stopping it. Nursleton grabs around the back. Fans loving this. Buckley chants all over the arena. And he's just pounding his, look at this, with the elbow. 2:05 left. And I don't think Nursleton's going to make it. But he is trying to get up now. He's giving up the back. Buckley, don't go for it. Keep pounding away. There. Oh, he lost it. Oh. Now Nursleton's on top. This is not good. Oh, wow. What a turn of events. Buckley dominating in ground strikes, 56-1. This is what I expected. Buckley's got to keep himself out of trouble here. Yep, he's got to try to push off. And Buckley's done a lot in this round, but you don't want to spend the final 90 seconds on your back. And Buckley trying to get up, and now he does. There it is. And Buckley wins this one. Oh, wow. He won that transition. He's got the right arm free. Norselton looking at the clock. He takes a knee to the body, and he is gassed. I mean, he is tired. Let's go, Buck. Finish it, man. You deserve to finish here. He's pounding away with the right. Keith is really looking at this. Norselton's taking rights, and right when he's about to be finished, he always moves, does something. And you got to really credit Keith Peterson here for not stopping the fight, because every time you think you should stop it and he doesn't, it's clear he shouldn't after the fact. So he's doing a great job in reffing this fight, because Buckley is really making it close here. 30 seconds. Wow, Buckley landed some body shots, head strikes. Oh, time. That's going to be a bad blow by Norselton, who landed a kick to a downed opponent. Yeah, Buckley saying he wants him back down. Ooh. Boom. There it is. Yep, Keith Peterson did a good job. He waited for it. Like, he landed 3 kicks, 2 to the back. Actually, 3, and then 1 to, like, right below the ear. And instead, they stand up with 20 seconds left. And I don't know if this is good for Buckley right now. Who knows how he feels after that. 15 seconds left. Yeah. And there's a good thing there's only 15 seconds left, because maybe Buckley's all right. It's hard to tell. There's a tap. And what a great fight for Buckley. I mean, this is huge. Huge. And he's won the second and third round. And he's going to get the win. And the crowd is going crazy. They're on their feet. And, man, you want to see a finish, but that's a great fight. Stick around, because we're not getting... There's no way Derrick Lewis is going 5 rounds with Rodrigo Nascimento, right? If it is, it'll be the most boring fight of all time. And we're taking Derrick Lewis. It didn't look good. Well, maybe the last time out went well, but the previous couple fights, oof, just overwhelmed in some areas. And Buckley led 94-25 in significant strikes. 5:30 of control to 34 seconds. He had 4 takedowns. 80-18 in head strikes. Yeah, this is a dominating unanimous decision. This is one we don't have to wait on. Joaquin Buckley's going to win. He's going to move to 19-6 here. Ruziboev, good fighter. Good fighter. Falls at 34-9. Welterweight division. UFC St. Louis. All right, so stay tuned. Next up, Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis takes on Rodrigo Nascimento. I can't wait. I cannot wait for this fight. And I hope to goodness it's like a quick fight. There's just no reason for this fight to go long. But time will tell, so stick with us. We're going to be right back after this quick break with a Derrick Lewis versus Nascimento prediction along the way. So ride with us, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
You're watching the TCMMA podcast.
But Sean O'Malley, before we get out of here, is really pissed with Conor McGregor. This is a guy that he not worships, but likes. Like, it's like, you know, I mean, he looks up to. Probably one of the reasons that he wanted to be a fighter, or if he was already training to be a fighter at that point, you look and you're like, I want to be like him one day. I want to be at the top. Now, and he's always backed him, right? Now McGregor throws him under the bus and compares him to Ryan Garcia, who's going through a suspension now from, I believe, boxing. And I'm not big in understanding the story, but the same thing that Ryan Garcia did to get him suspended is the same thing, allegedly, because I don't know the whole story, that Sean O'Malley did. And I just don't know the name of what they're talking about. I should, but I didn't go into all that today. Osterin, is that what it's called? Maybe I'm wrong there. But the bottom line, the gist of the story is that Sean O'Malley's minding his own business. Ryan Garcia gets suspended in boxing, and uh, and now all of a sudden, Sean O'Malley's thrown into this in a tweet from McGregor or video or whatever McGregor did. That's the whole gist of it. So O'Malley feels like, he was punched in the gut here and didn't deserve it. Yeah, he might have done something years back. Who knows? But it's like, how am I getting thrown into this story like 4 years later? Because, you know what I mean? Especially by a guy that I look up to. I think he's great. I want to win a championship like him. And I'm there now. And now he's just like basically F McGregor, man. So he just totally pissed off O'Malley. And McGregor don't care. But it's still crazy. McGregor offering to bring Ryan Garcia and Sean O'Malley out to spar. Is he going to do all that? No. But, these are the things that are being discussed. And McGregor is the type that will just throw you under the bus in a heartbeat, And it is what it is, as long as you know. I mean, you can't be blind saying Khamzat Chimaev's a good fighter, but not what the UFC was building him to be. And how do you know that? Even when I'm saying Khamzat's going to beat everyone, how do I don't really know that. That's what I believe is going to happen. So that's an opinion of Edwards, just like I have my opinion that Khamzat's going to beat everybody, okay? But I don't know that to be a fact until it actually plays out. How can Leon Edwards be certain of what he's saying? He went down and fought Gilbert Burns in a weight class that's way too light for him. He didn't look great, but he still won. He went in there with Usman, who did move up. Usman didn't look great, but he didn't have to cut weight. So he was feeling good and strong and fought well. And Khamzat hurt his hand pretty darn bad in the first round after absolutely dominating Usman on the ground. Absolutely dominate him on the ground. So, and then all of a sudden the fight changes in the second and third round. So you're like, obviously something happened, right? You want to be led to believe that while you're watching it live that, Khamzat doesn't look that good. Well, something clearly changed. How do you go from dominating a guy in round one on the ground, completely taking one of the best takedown defense specialists in the world out of the fight as a striker and take him down because you're dominating him? And then something changed to where you can't land takedowns in the second and third round now, and you're forced into a striking battle with a guy in Usman that you don't necessarily want to do that with, because it's going to be a lot easier to beat him on the ground if you can just manhandle him. And then he couldn't do that in the second and third round, not because he just couldn't do it skillfully, but because there was underlying factors. So this is what I repeat. How does Leon Edwards know what he's talking about? It's crazy. And Sean Strickland saying, hey, I could have fought Khamzat, but instead I picked Costa. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. That's just crazy.
Oh, my God, bro.
What are you talking about? Paulo Costa? Who is Paulo Costa? When was the last time he fought? Is he even relevant right now until he gets a big win over somebody? Will he ever be relevant again? We don't know. You're meaning to tell me you'd rather fight Paulo Costa over Khamzat? The chance to end the hype train and do everything that you guys are talking like you're going to do? I mean, come on, man. Please. Please. Don't come at Khamzat like that until he loses. Please don't come at him until he loses. Please don't come at him until he loses. He hasn't lost yet. And I know that makes some of y'all's stomach turn. It makes your stomach turn. Because you want to say, yeah, Burns beat him and he looked terrible against Usman. Usman should have won that fight on the judges. Okay. But Khamzat won the fight. And that just makes some of y'all's stomach churn. Just turn over, man. It just makes you sick to your stomach. And the bottom line is Khamzat is going to get another fight against a Robert Whittaker. And this time, it doesn't matter how he wins. But it matters that he wins. Because I don't care what the circumstances are. If he beats Robert Whittaker, I don't care if you say Robert Whittaker didn't look good tonight, Khamzat got lucky, Whittaker got robbed on the judges' scorecards. I don't care what none of y'all say. And it's a 5-round fight? Come on, man. All the excuses are gone now. He's fighting one of the best. Okay? Although y'all will break him down if he does beat him and say, oh, Robert Whittaker's washed up, and that's about the only thing you'll be able to say. But he's fighting one of the best, and he's fighting 5 rounds, because some of you guys say if these fights go 4 or 5 rounds, Hamza's done. Okay, well, we're going to find out now. John Jones coming out and, reaching out to Alex Pereira, then coming out and says he has a next fight date with an agreement, basically not anything signed, but alluding to the fact that the Alex Pereira fight would be the biggest fight in MMA history. And didn't I tell you that? This is the way to go if you're John Jones, because you don't want to wait till Alex Pereira gets the fight, then has another 4 or 5 months, right? You're going to give him 6 to 8 months to put on the weight. John Jones knows that he had to take a lot of time off to move up to heavyweight. And if you wait and fight Alex Pereira, it's going to be even worse. Fight him right now, while he's probably still going to be 20 or 30 pounds lighter. You got the weight on him, and make things happen right now. And it seems like John Jones is waking up to that. Why fight Stipe? Why fight Tom Aspinall? Let's just go Alex Pereira right now. And then the winner of that can face Tom Aspinall. Let Aspinall chill and beat up on somebody like Curtis Blades and go from there. So we'll have to wait and see how this thing... And then you got a fight in England coming up, so Tom Aspinall is probably going to fight Curtis Blades. Let's go Alex Pereira versus John Jones. Forget Stipe. I mean, come on. Nobody really wants to see that. John Jones is winning that fight all day, every day. But we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But that's the breaking news. And, it looks like that fight could be coming. I really hope it does. I really hope it does. Division fight. Derrick Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Always important. Nascimento looking to get ranked. Derrick Lewis is all-time KO leader, but he's 39 years old. He's getting older. He's getting older, and it's getting tougher. Make no mistake about it. So let's get into that. This fight, main event, heavyweight division, right now. In the heavyweight division at UFC St. Louis, you got Derrick Lewis coming in at 27-12, taking on Rodrigo Nascimento, Brazilian, who comes in at 11-1. So American versus Brazilian. Derrick Lewis 1 inch taller at 6'3", 39 years old. So over the last few years, obviously, he's starting to get older. We're seeing this in his fights. Nascimento 31, right in the prime. Nascimento 1 inch reach advantage 80-79. Both guys stand right-handed. Now Nascimento has the advantage on the feet in terms of activity. 4.3 significant strikes per minute, 2.4 for Derrick Lewis. Nascimento can also go to the ground with 1 takedown every 3 rounds. Now, as we dig a little bit deeper, the Black Beast, aka Derrick Lewis, 53% takedown defense. That's been a problem, but he's got better over the years, for sure. Lost to Jailton Almeida in the last fight by decision. Did beat Marcos Rogerio de Lima by KO. But before that, lost to Sergey Spivak, Sergey Pavlovich, and Tai Tuivasa. So he's lost 4 of the last 5, really slowing down. But still has that KO power that can land at any time. And until you get through him, we really don't know. It's all speculation. Because I don't care if Derrick Lewis is 50. If you walk into that punch, you're in trouble. Nascimento's got a 77% takedown defense. He's coming off a lot of wins, 3 wins in a row. He had a no contest against Alan Baldo, and his only loss was to Chris Daukaus by KO. So I don't, stink and go either way, man. He does have in his last 3 fights win over Tanner Boser, split decision. Lear Latifi, split decision. Don'Tale Mayes, unanimous decision. So he did beat Don'Tale Mayes. And, boy, this is a tough prediction with a lot on the line. Because you got an aging Derrick Lewis that I would say 3 years ago probably beats Nascimento, catches him. Chris Daukaus did. Derrick Lewis will, but he's getting older. You have a Nascimento who's getting a little bit better every time we see him. He's going to for the next 2 or 3 years till he peaks out. So it's really, man, this is a really, really tough one. And we haven't performed well in the main event this year. And I'm leaning towards Derrick Lewis, but I'm a little nervous about it. Because it's no given, because he's got to land a punch. I don't think Derrick Lewis is going to a decision and winning this thing. So I'm banking on he's going to land a punch. Will Nascimento try to take this fight to the ground? If it goes to the ground, still think Derrick Lewis will be okay. it's the longevity of the fight. If Nascimento can take this into deep waters, he can potentially win. But I got to go with the Black Beast. Okay, he's not 40 yet, right? And I don't believe he turns 40 before the fight, although I'm going to peek real quick. Yeah, February 7th. So he just hit 39. All right. He's got to do something the next 2 or 3 fights, make things happen quickly. I like him to win this. I think Derrick Lewis is going to pull it out. Listen, you just got to land a punch. It's real simple. He's going to win, in my opinion, in that fashion. Through the 28-12, Derrick Lewis wins. Heavyweight division fight, main event at UFC St. Louis. Yeah, so UFC St. Louis heavyweight division main event. We got Derrick Lewis winning, and he's got to land a punch. He's got to land a punch to win. And we're banking on that happening, no doubt about it. Let's go DL. Let's go Derrick Lewis. KO leader. Hopefully he gets another KO. That's what I want to see happen. That would make my night.
You're watching the TCMMA podcast. And now, back to your host, Chris Cross.
Welcome back. Derrick Lewis making the walk. And you know the crowd's going to be absolutely fired up. Big win by Buckley in the previous fight. Olberg in the third fight, 14-second KO. So the crowd is rowdy and ready to go. And Derrick Lewis walking to the octagon, looking serious. And we've seen some fights with Derrick Lewis where it didn't go real well recently. Seems to be refreshed. He doesn't fight a lot throughout the year. He fights, once or twice. I'd say twice. But it's been a little while. And yes, he's 39 years old, but he appreciates staying in shape and things like that a lot more now at this point in his career. And, even going back 3-4 years ago when he dropped like 20 pounds and another 10 or 15. And he's chiseled out now. You see the shoulders are big. Yeah, he looks fit. He looks fit. And we desperately need a big KO win right here by Derrick Lewis. And what he does to his opponents is he really slows the pace down. Guys are afraid to get inside because of the uppercut KO power he possesses. And sometimes when the fights go longer, they can be like boring type fights. We'll see if Nascimento is prepared to bring it, or if he's going to be worried about the fact that Derrick Lewis has the second most wins in the heavyweight division, that he's the KO king. Finally, after a few fights, accomplishing that. And second most performance awards. I mean, the guy has all types of accolades. Yeah, he's had setbacks, but is still Mr. DL, Derrick Lewis. Make no mistake about it. And he's in. And we got both fighters in the octagon for the main event. And this thing could be over in a hurry. If this gets out of the first round, I'll be surprised. And I'd like to see a more aggressive Derrick Lewis. I don't like, when he lands the KO, it looks like it works. But I want to see him just be more aggressive and just come in and try to get the KO. Try to get the finish. 39 versus 31. That's the big difference. Derrick Lewis, the older fighter, he's 1 inch taller at 6'3". Both guys pretty much 265, 79-inch reach versus 80-inch reach. So, and Nascimento creeping into the rankings at 15. He's 11-1, Brazilian. Crowd's going to be favored toward Derrick Lewis for sure. You're going to get USA chance again, like he did in the co-main event. And here we go. Bruce Buffer is getting them both checked in. And we haven't really talked about it much tonight, but the fact is we're 7-8 on the year in the main event, right? We're 1 down. We battled back to get to this point, and if Derrick Lewis can get a victory any way possible, we'll finally be back to 8-8 with a big, ridiculous month of June coming up with McGregor, Makhachev, Hamza, so a lot to look forward to, and it'd be a lot more meaningful if we can be 8-8 with another week to go in May. And it's cool that it's in a big U.S. city, right? Like it's you could just feel it inside the arena. Like the crowd is really excited. You know, when they go to off-sites outside of Nevada, Las Vegas, outside of, New York or Florida. I mean, they're in Kansas City, Missouri, UFC Louisville coming up. And Nascimento, once again, he's 11-1 Brazilian. Fighting out of Brazil, of course, he is a slight underdog. He's 4-1 as a favorite. Rodrigo Nascimento. Yes. And he's looking ready. He's pumped up. And here we go. You're going to get the roar. And this guy is huge, man. Derrick Lewis is just massive. Fighting out of Houston, Texas. 8-6 as a UFC dog. And it's funny, we're getting the stats for the opposite thing. Like, he's 8-6 as a dog, but he's the favorite. So what's his record as a favorite? Boy, a win here could really catapult him. Not so much back up into the rankings because he's 12, Nascimento 15, but it could put him in a position where he gets a top 10 fight. And this guy just never quits. Two massive bodies headed towards the center of the octagon. Jason Herzog giving him the instructions. They touch gloves, and here we go. So both fighters back up, staring each other down. Main event, this is it. Derrick Lewis, Rodrigo Nascimento. And both guys who possess instant KO power at any second in the fight. Please believe it. And here we go. Nascimento coming in quick. Derrick Lewis kind of moves quick and gets him off. Lands a... Okay, Derrick Lewis coming in aggressive. I like this. I like this. And looking to get the takedown. He can't get it, but he drives Rodrigo back up into the fence. And this is what I was talking about. We want to see Derrick Lewis be aggressive. Because his opponents are kind of like, he's 39, he's slowing down. I'm going to go in there and push the pace. Derrick Lewis has to forget all that and just push it himself. Crowd chant for Lewis. He takes down Nascimento right away. Now the Brazilian finds himself on the back with a big body on top, but he stands up. Drives a knee into the body. Now Nascimento is going to back up Lewis. And right away, Derrick Lewis digging the underhooks. He does. Lands a knee to the body. And this is a different looking Derrick Lewis from the last few fights I've seen, right? He's being aggressive. He's getting into the body. Normally, he would sit there and try to lull his opponent to sleep. But this time, he's being the aggressor. Nice knee to the body there by Rodrigo, but he's backed up against the fence, and Derrick Lewis just leaning on him. And another knee to the body. And a big right by Derrick Lewis. Now Lewis gets flipped. He's got his back up against the fence. He's got to dig those underhooks again. He's got it with the right, but his left is up high. Now he comes out. Rodrigo lands a left on the way out. And here we go. We haven't seen much striking yet. First 2 minutes gone. And now already, as they separate and stand in the center of the octagon, already Derrick Lewis has slowed down Nascimento. Lands a big right, and now a left. Nascimento gets out of it, comes forward. So already, he's already starting to lull Rodrigo in. And they're tied up once again. Rodrigo backs him up. Oh, Derrick gets taken down. Not good. And he was doing such a good job defending that from happening. But Rodrigo ended up making it look easy, right? Just taking him down, using the leg. And now taking control on the top. Landed some big lefts. Derrick Lewis is going to try to tie him up. He does. But Nascimento doing a good job of posturing up. And you got that whole battle going on. But now if you're Derrick Lewis, you got a big guy on top of you creating problems. And we saw this early in the career of Derrick Lewis when he gets up against some good fighters. He struggled on the ground, but he's always been, working on that constantly. But right now it's looking like he's in rough shape. Ground strikes favor Nascimento 10-0, which is hard to believe because Derrick Lewis was on top for a while, but not landing any ground strikes. Nascimento doing a better job in this position. And the crowd getting quieter now, right? I mean, the American in tough shape on his back. And just after, coming out of Brazil with all the Brazilians that look so good in that setting and getting wins, you follow that up with a main event with a Brazilian, and it's just like they're on a roll right now. Brazilian fighters are absolutely on a roll, and he gets the full mount on Derrick. That's not good. 35 seconds left. Crowd booing. They don't want to see this. Derrick trying to get up. He does, and look at this. He reverses positions. Crowd likes that 25 seconds, excuse me. And they're probably going to roll this thing into the end of the round, but not the heavyweight fight you'd expect, right? A lot of stand-up striking. Rodrigo trying to figure out how to break through, the slow-paced game of Derrick Lewis. We've had none of that. I mean, this thing has been on the ground or up against the fence for probably 4.5 of the 5 minutes, and that'll do it. Both fighters head to the corner. Okay, so we're out of the first round, so I'm wrong already. I thought there'd be a big finish here, but listen, with the night we've had, especially in the prelims, the marathons, just decision after decision after decision, anything is possible here. I mean, this thing could potentially go 5 rounds, hopefully not. At any time, one guy lands a strike and this thing is over, so we'll see what happens. If you're in the corner of both of these guys, you got Derrick Lewis, you're probably telling him, like, we need to separate a little bit and land some strikes and strike with this guy. Yeah, he's getting a takedown, but he's not doing anything with it on the ground. Nascimento gets on top of you, that's trouble. So let's forget the takedowns right now and stand up and try to get the KO. That's why you're the KO king. Nascimento's corner is kind of saying, hey, look, you just went toe-to-toe with Derrick Lewis for a full round. You're good to go. You're on his level. Now it's time to bring it. So those are the two strategies from both fighters you would think in the corner from like a coaching perspective. Round 2's underway. Yeah, and I can already see Nascimento looks more confident in this round. And Derrick Lewis moving very slowly, which is normal. Yep, and he's starting to back off now. He's going to try to lull Nascimento in. We've seen this before. And then that uppercut is coming. Yep, he comes in. There it is. Nascimento takes a left and a right. Another left. Now he lands a left. Ah, it's a shame. Now they tie up once again. That was looking like something was going to happen, but nothing. Nascimento digging the underhooks now. 4:15 left, round 2. And a driving knee by Nascimento. Boom. Nice knee by Lewis. 4:05 left. Come on, separate, man. Hey, remember what I told you. This is not where Derrick Lewis wants to be. Like, he wants to be freed up, looking for the big KO. This all favors Nascimento, in my opinion. The clock just continues ticking. There's no threat of the big KO in this position. Come on, Derrick. Cut loose. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Let's go. 3:15 left, center of the octagon. Come on, Derrick. Come on, Derrick. Left, right, left by Nascimento. Oh, big uppercut by Lewis. And some of the fighters that Derrick Lewis has struggled with in the last 2 or 3 years that are like big strikers that are coming in with overwhelming force, I don't get the feel that Nascimento has that. It's not like he can't get the finish, but instead Derrick Lewis seems content with, driving him into the fence, clinching up, when in fact, there we go. Oh, big left, big right. Let's go, Derrick. Let's go, Derrick. Let's go, Derrick. Let's go, Derrick. Yes. A left and a right to the body, and then they tie up again. Get him off, Derrick. Get off. I'm telling you, man. He's trying to rest right now. Finish him. Yes. Let's go, Derrick. And they're tied up, but every now and then Derrick will land a big elbow, get his hands free, land a big right. Or just about 30 seconds ago, they were tied up, and Derrick Lewis came out swinging. There he goes again. A big right. Boy, Nascimento's getting close. He's got to unload now. Derrick, you got to be aggressive and unload. Yes. Don't tie up, for goodness sake. Dang. See? Now he's giving up his back. Just a major mistakes here for Derrick Lewis. I mean, now he's in all types of trouble when he's dominating the fight on the feet. Yeah, of course. Rodrigo can rest. Derrick Lewis got to fight through this probably for 1 minute and 15 seconds. Gosh, if he gets out of this, his corner's got to be telling him just keep it on the feet. When you land a big left-right combination, or you land a big shot, you don't have to go in and go for the clinch. Why would you do that? Derrick's going to try to twist out of this. Nascimento still winds up on top. And this is big for him because he was taking some shots, and it just allows him to rest, even if he does nothing with it, which he is doing a little bit with it here. A couple elbows and a right. 20 seconds left. And I hope Derrick Lewis is laying on his back right now, which he is, and just thinking, okay, I'm getting out of this round, but how did I get here? How did I get here? And that'll do it for round 2. And the answer to that question is, I did it to myself. And now you take the wind out of the sails of Derrick Lewis a little bit here, who seemingly was about to win the fight and decided to clinch. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I like that, coach. I was waiting to see what they were going to say, and he says, we need to stick to our bread and butter. KOing people. Seriously. Because he's right there. You see the big left. He's coming in. Boom, big right. And he had the fight finished. And, okay, Nascimento grabs the back of the head. just bench press him off of you, man. As soon as Nascimento's in trouble, he's grabbing. He's trying to grab. Derrick Lewis issues a bench press him off and just keeps swinging, and the fight's over. I mean, it's that simple. Shouldn't even be around 3. But nonetheless, here we are. Come on, Derrick. Stick to the bread and butter, and that's KOing people. I like it. Couldn't have said it better. Oh, what do you know? 20 seconds on the feet. Can't believe it. Ooh. Both fighters come forward. Derrick Lewis squinted a little bit before landing a big right. Now he comes in with a big right. Yep, Nascimento's in trouble. Finish him, Derrick. Finish him, Derrick. Yes, yes. Come on, keep punching. Don't let him tie you up. Yep, yep, and that's it. Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Let's go. We needed that, baby. Back to 8-8. Let's go. Derrick Lewis takes off the pants. And he's cooling off Nascimento. Look at he takes off his pants. And everybody loves it. You know the crowd loved that. And Derrick Lewis was tired as ever, but he landed the big right. And it's almost like he was surprised, like Nascimento's on the ground. He's like, I just got to go for it. It's hammer, 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 hammer. I got to go for it right now, and he gets it. Derrick Lewis finishes off Rodrigo Nascimento. We're back to 8-8. 2-fight win streak in the main event. And no one better to win than Derrick Lewis. I love it. This guy with another KO at 39 years old. And just as we said, he's going to get the win. Now he's got to fight 2 or 3 times in the next year. He's got to make it happen. Derrick Lewis wins by KO over Rodrigo Nascimento, heavyweight division, UFC St. Louis. Well, that's the way it goes down. This is a wrap for another watch party. We'll be back next week, of course. Then a week off before UFC 302. Memorial Day, baby. Got to have that week off. Still catching the replays. And that's slow motion, and Derrick Lewis looked like he was going full speed. It's crazy. But listen, much love, y'all. Appreciate y'all watching. That's a wrap here. UFC St. Louis.